Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Ryan from Planet Together here. So in this video, we are going to take a look at the Planet Together advanced planning and scheduling platform. We'll start with a background on the company and why APS, Advanced Planning and Scheduling, is amazing. Just kind of how it came about, what are the origins. And then we'll jump into the software and take a look at how it looks, get some look and feel, and I'll show you some of the few cool features that we have that will help make your life scheduling much easier. Let's get started. So at Planet Together, our mission is to make the planet more productive, one manufacturer at a time. And we do that in two different ways. So, of course, you are implementing a software package that's going to speed up the process that it takes you to do scheduling every day. So for your scheduler, it is going to help them save time. But of course, the reason you buy a system like this is so you can prioritize jobs to run together, operations to sequence together, to save you changeover, right? So we're going to save you time creating the schedule. We're also going to make a more efficient schedule. And we are going to hopefully save you time on rework, right? You're going to be able to quote better lead times, quote better delivery dates, and make your life a whole lot easier. So this is a picture of your supply chain. Everyone's seen this, but everything from raw materials to your consumer. And delays and disruption can happen anywhere in the supply chain, right? Raw materials don't come in, your suppliers have long lead times, you've got distribution costs, your customer's always changing their mind, that sort of thing. Well, what I've highlighted in red on the side here is basically what Planet Together is going to help you with, right? So we're focused in the manufacturing area. The biggest thing that stands out with a software package like this is that you're going to be able to create a schedule very quickly. So the manufacturers that get the most benefit out of our product are high product mix, complex operations. If you're making the same thing all the time, you're not going to probably get as much benefit from an APS system as if you are making different types of items. They've got different changeovers. You've got to utilize your facility making a large product mix. So how do you run that? How do you run those product mixes in the most efficient way, right? So fluctuating demands, costly changeovers, need for agility and replanning quickly, and just the general ability to have different production options, right? So if you find yourself in that category, then I think you're in the right place, and hope you enjoy this video. So a little bit about Planet Together as a company and its origins and how we all got here today. So really, Planet Together got its start at Cornell University. These two professors, Conway and Maxwell, pictured there, they literally wrote the book on the theory of scheduling, essentially using computer algorithms to create a efficient, sequenced schedule. Anyway, along the line someplace, they created a company called Seaway Systems, which was a joint venture between Cornell University, Hewlett-Packard, General Motors, and eventually Seaway Systems, through some acquisitions, ended up being part of a company out in San Diego. Our CEO, Jim Serra, was the product manager for that company, and our CFO, Larry Hargis, was the lead APS developer for that company. So that's how the two of those guys met. And around, I believe, the early 2000s, the company was acquired again. Essentially, the APS product died at that point. So, fun story, Jim and Larry broke off on their own and wrote Planet Together, planning and scheduling software. So we've, I guess some more background, we are headquartered out in San Diego, been around since 2004, and That's about it. So I always like to go into this exercise. It's fun. You know, basing our story here off of Conway and Maxwell, why do we need these advanced algorithms for scheduling? Can't we just create a schedule? Can't we just line things up? What's so hard about this, right? And what's so hard about getting a computer to do this? So this is a fun little exercise. Let's do some math, right? So here's our scenario. We've got one resource. We've got one resource. We've got 15 orders or jobs on a schedule on that resource, and one operation per job step. So say we're trying to schedule 15 things. What order do we put them in? What's the best order to put them in? Right? So how many different ways can we sequence 15 things? Well, let's take a smaller number. Let's take like 3 things. What's the best way to schedule 3 things? I've got a job A, B, and C. Well, I could go A, B, C, or I could go A, C, B, or I could start with B and go B, A, C, or B, C, A, or I could start with C and go C, A, B, and C, B, A, right? So to sequence 3 jobs, we need to basically try 6 different possibilities to determine which one's the best, all right? So how do we do that, right? It's 3 factorial. 3 times 2 times 1 would give us 6. So in this case, in our equation here, for 15 orders, 15 factorial, 1.3 trillion different ways to schedule those 15 orders. That's a lot, all right? A lot of different ways. So, well, we've got computers to figure this out, right? So it should be pretty quick. So let's take a fast CPU. It can run at 4 gigahertz, let's say. That's 4 billion transactions a second, right? So we'll do some simple math here. 1.3 trillion transactions, 4 billion transactions a second. That gives us a result of 5.5 minutes to run through every single one of those 1.3 trillion possibilities and determine the best sequence. All right, so 5 minutes, you might say, that's not too bad. But let's just expand our numbers just a little bit, right? So what if we add 5 more orders to this mix? So 20 orders we need to schedule, right? Well, 20 factorial, 2.4 quintillion different permutations there. So we subtract this out and divide this out, and it would take 19.2 years to go through all of those different combinations of orders, different sequences, all right? So obviously that's not going to work for us, right? I mean, everyone probably has more than 20 orders that they want to schedule. Like I say on my next slide here, so what's the real world, right? Real world is we got high volume data, complexity, a lot of communication issues, business priorities to schedule by. We're planning out 1 to 2 years. Got hundreds of resources, thousands of operations, hundreds of thousands of inventory SKUs. Basically, this is a massive dynamic math problem, right? So we need, and what Plan Together uses is rules and heuristics to determine what's the best operation to schedule next based on what's already been scheduled. And we'll kind of get into how that does that. So just for fun here, some other numbers to play around with. Number of playing cards in a deck, 52. So how many different ways are there to order those 52 cards? Well, 8 to the 67th power times. So to put that in perspective, right, let's take how old the universe is. 13.8 billion years, which is 4.3 to the 17th seconds. So if you look at those two numbers, even if you shuffled that deck of cards once every second for the history of the known universe, you may never, the probability of you coming up with the same sequence of cards in that deck is almost 0, right? So just some interesting math there, some fun numbers. Basically, yeah, we need a better way to do this.